We provide adequate protective gear to the hospital, including disinfectants, infrared, and other protective equipment for the staff here. I am aware that some of the equipment may be running out, but we're in the process of replenishing it. But as you also know, this challenge is everywhere the world over, but we try as much as possible. Government has done everything possible. Our partners have done everything possible. WHO and CDC, they are providing us also with protective gear on top of what government is putting in place. So we really want to thank them. Right, Prime Minister, I want to thank the political leadership in this area, the RDC and his staff, and the mayor for supporting our staff during this very, very challenging time. I want to conclude again by thanking everybody, especially His Excellency the President, who has been at the forefront for this fight. At this juncture, I want to conclude my remarks and invite the WHO country representative to make your remarks. Thank you very much.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Minister, Madam PS, the CDC Director, the local government authorities, the RDC, and most of all, our health workers. It's really an honor and humbling for us to be here to appreciate the work you did. The other thing I wanted to appreciate is that also the fact that you on a regular basis have tests done and none of you have turned positive tells me that you are following procedures and that you are making sure other patients are also safe. That's a service, that's the duty you are able to do, and we are very much appreciative of that. As WHO, as CDC and partners, we are happy to be part of this historic point in the recovery of a patient. These 3 patients got a good 3 care so that they are able to come out well. More will follow, but this is the first step, and your contributions makes it possible. I like to appreciate all the effort the government of Uganda is doing, because when Uganda controls this, that is a global contribution. The disease can only be conquered if there is global security, if every individual, every country, and every continent does its part, so that we can conquer this disease and see a brighter future for us and for our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, WHO country representative. Next in the line, members, is a remark from our Honorable Minister, our Permanent Secretary for Health, Minister of Health. Okay. I have been advised that next in the line is the Honorable Minister of Health. Can we give her a good applause of that?
Thank you very much, MC. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, WHO country representative, the country director CDC, Permanent Secretary, Director General, the Director UVRI, Professor Kalevo, the Director of Entebbe Regional Referral, the incident manager, all of you present here, the media and the health workers. Good afternoon to you all. Right Honorable, allow me to welcome you to Entebbe Regional Referral. It is a new regional referral hospital, barely a year old. We upgraded it sometime last year, and the teams have been doing a good job. It was identified as the first isolation facility for COVID-19 patients, and indeed, as you heard from the Director General, the first patient who was tested on the 21st was admitted here. And since then, as you have heard, they have a total of 30 patients. I want to appreciate them in a very special way for making us proud and doing a very, very, very good job. Right Honorable, as you are aware, world over, many health workers are losing their lives to COVID-19. It is a big, big battle. Day and night, all of us are praying that not any single health worker in Uganda should die to COVID-19. And when I talk about health workers, I mean even those who clean the facility or provide security to the facility, because they all make a team. It is our prayer, and thank you very much for being very strict about the rules, keeping yourself safe, as well as ensuring that the patients are safe. Right Honorable, you probably know that many of our patients were admitted either with a fever or asymptomatic. 50% of our patients had no signs and symptoms, identified from the laboratory by Professor Kalebo, and we alerted and we take them into isolation. We have a team of scientists who developed the treatment protocol that we are using, and with due time we shall introduce you to the team of scientists that are behind the entire response, guiding us on what to do. Their chair is Dr. Misachi Wanyengera, whom you know very well. Professor Kalebo is part of the team, and he does the cooking at UVRI and informs us of the results. Patients of COVID-19 stay a long time in hospital. The ones we are discharging today have spent a total of 21 days in the hospital. It takes time for the viral load to go down, and indeed, that is why we are working very hard to see to it that we don't have an epidemic blowing out of proportion. So at this juncture, allow me in a special way to appreciate His Excellency the President for the 33 very concrete and precise directives that he has given to the country and requested us to implement them, and also to appreciate you for the task force that you chair that is handling COVID-19 and guiding us very well. I also want to appreciate the patients. They have been good patients, following the standard operating procedures, very cooperative. But Right Honorable, I must tell you that they have refused to sign to be exposed to the media, so you won't be seeing them. We have to respect their rights. If they have said no, it is a no. So you will not be seeing the patients who will be discharged officially today. But we also have 15 others who are ready for discharge. But we have not yet prepared their communities, so they may be going perhaps on Easter Monday to their homes. If any gives consent, then we shall allow you to interview them. But as long as they have not given consent, we cannot do that. So I must apologize on their behalf to all of you. But I request that we continue praying for each and every one of them. Right Honorable, none of them has progressed to the severe disease. They have all been very stable and receiving their medicines. We had many people come up to donate some of the medicines that we are using, including chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, from their own pharmacies. They have been giving it willingly to the National Task Force. Again, allow me to appreciate the Permanent Secretary for ensuring that the patients are comfortable and both patients and the medical teams have food available at any time that they need it. Lastly, Right Honorable, allow me again, as I speak to the health workers, please do not get tired. This is a battle. It is a big battle. I am sure that even when you're working here, I know there are some television sets here and you do watch what is going on in the other parts of the world. It is a big battle. It is a battle that is still ongoing. We are probably at the beginning of the battle. While we are happy and celebrating some people going home, we have to be aware that many other people may be coming in. So continue to encourage one another. Do not forget to rest. If you're tired, don't push it, because you may end up doing something that we shall all regret. If you're tired, you say, I am tired. Take some rest. Encourage one another. All of us need counseling. All of us, right from His Excellency, the President, the Prime Minister, all of us need counseling at this time. Just a call to your friend is good enough to encourage one another that we can still go on, we can still make it. So take off time and do that. Please drink plenty of water. Don't tell yourself that since you have a mask on your face, you will not drink water. Please take off time when you get out, put in plenty of water so that you keep well rehydrated. Don't forget that there are other diseases other than COVID. So when you fall sick, also let yourself be subjected to all the tests. We don't want to focus on COVID and miss other diseases and lose even one health worker to any other disease. Thank you very much in a special way. And before I sit down, allow me to thank the incident manager. He's always very humble. He wants to keep at the background. We appreciate. Right Honorable Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Chove Henry is an epidemiologist and also a researcher, and is doing a good job in the incident management, cooking from our EOC and guiding the entire response and guiding the entire country. I want in a special way to say a big thank you to him. And also to thank my teams in the Ministry of Health, the entire team. It is not an easy time for all of us. I have been telling them that this Easter season, we don't have Easter. Actually, to the contrary, yesterday nobody even knew it was a Good Friday. We had to remind ourselves, all of us, including the WR CDC, we also work 24/7. We shall have Easter when God allows. And we shall have a weekend when God allows. For all of us, it is a great honor to serve rather than to go and make merry. We can thank the Lord wherever we are, and this is the right time to say thank you to the Lord for protecting us and for keeping us alive up till now. That is the reason why tomorrow we shall be celebrating Easter. He died for us so that we can continue to live and live our lives to its fullness. So thank you very much for listening to me. It is now my honor and pleasure, Right Honorable, to invite you to address us and officially release the 3 patients to go home, and also request the health workers to go and continue with their duties. I thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you, our lovely Honorable Minister for Health. Before the Right Honorable comes, I will request the team leader, COVID-19 Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital, to present certificates of those people who are going to be discharged before the Right Honorable begins his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nsereko. Honorable Jane Acheng, the Minister of Health, Permanent Secretary, representative of World Health Organization and representative of CDC, Dr. Mwevesa, Director General of Health Services, the Director of the hospital, Professor Kalebo, the health workers of Entebbe Referral Hospital, friends. This is an extremely pleasant function amidst a difficult situation of fighting a war against COVID-19. I want to take this opportunity, therefore, to salute the grassroots and frontline workers who have been making sure that these patients are given tender loving care, good clinical care, and now they have graduated to where 3 of them are being discharged today. We should all clap our hands for these health workers. I thank the director of the hospital, who has kept the hospital, I must say, in a good shape and looked after the patients and created a good environment. I also thank Dr. Nsereko. He educated us quite a lot about the clinical management of the patients, the drugs, and other things that him and the team he is leading are using. And the head of the nursing staff did also give us some information. So this teamwork, which is represented here, looking after our patients well, is really a team the country is very proud of. The team has not been working alone. It has worked very closely under the direction of the Honorable Minister of Health and the Permanent Secretary and the Director General of Health Services and the Health Ministry. Again, that collaboration and cooperation and support by the Minister and her team is deeply appreciated by us and the country at large. Actually, at the helm of all this has been His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, who in the early stages, even before COVID-19 came here, he saw the problem and called meetings to prepare for this monster. And it is true that when the monster arrived, it found Uganda fairly prepared to confront it. And the progress we have made as a country in the war against this pandemic is partly attributed to this foresight and early preparation. It is also true that His Excellency the President has been on regular times briefing the country, and as the Minister has said, 33 guidelines have been issued. But he has not only stopped there, he has done something which many people may not have realized, that he commanded the UPDF doctors to work with the Ministry of Health. And no wonder Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Chobe is comfortably working with you. It is because of the orders by the Commander-in-Chief for UPDF to come and work with you. So it's a combined team, and you can see what this combined team is producing wonderful results, in spite of the challenges that have been so well articulated by the Honorable Minister of Health. We have also been working with partners, and I'm glad that World Health Organization and CDC are very well represented here. We have not just worked with them now, but we have had long partnership as Uganda has been fighting against the various epidemics. We have been closely working with our colleagues in WHO as well as CDC. The next point I want to make, again, before I leave the President, is that the President has been concerned about patients and health workers, but has also been concerned about the conditions of the people. And the President has directed that food be distributed in Kampala, especially to the vulnerable groups. And in fact, he has further directed today that by tomorrow morning, he would like to see food distributed in all the divisions of Kampala to make sure that all the deserving people have something to eat, and has said there should be acceleration in the distribution of food so that we don't have casualties from both the virus and also from famine or a lack of food. Therefore, the leadership of the President has been multifaceted, has handled a number of areas, but all this aimed at making sure that the disease is indeed defeated. The discharge of these 3 patients, as I have said, needs to be handled carefully. They have already said, by the way, give us space so that we walk out of the hospital properly without the press having to violate our privacy. I want to take this opportunity to appeal to our respective communities to warmly welcome these friends who have been discharged and integrate them properly, reintegrate them in their respective communities. After all, you have been assured by the minister and her team that these people have been properly treated and they have been given the requisite tests after treatment, and they have been clearly declared healed. So you have no reason not to reintegrate them in their communities so that they resume their normal life. Therefore, I'm happy that the Ministry of Health is taking extra measures to make sure that the communities are sensitized. And I would like, therefore, the RDCs, the mayors, the LCs, to ensure that this process of reintegration is understood and the community is pacified so that there is no any hitch at all. Let me also thank the mayor of Entebbe, because Entebbe now has become the center of many things. The Virus Research Institute here is a center of excellence. Now I can see Entebbe Referral Hospital becoming a center of excellence in management of COVID-19 patients. Isn't it great to hear that the team of doctors and nurses treating these patients have been able to carefully look after themselves, and they are all negative. Isn't that a great thing, great achievement? In order to look after the patient, you must be safe yourself. So really, by looking after yourselves, you are in effect preparing yourselves to look at the patients very well. And indeed, you have proven it by having some of them discharged today and some more being discharged the day after. I also thank again the Minister of Health and her team for making sure that facilities are made available to protect the health workers and also to ensure that they are comfortable and that the environment in which they are working is conducive for them to be able to concentrate on their patients. So let me conclude by once again congratulating those patients who have walked the journey and now have been discharged. Let me thank the team that has been looking after these patients for the courage, for the care, and for giving us very good results and giving us a very good example for the rest of the country and health workers all over the world, that after all, you can safely treat a COVID-19 patient and remain negative. Let me thank the Minister of Health and her team, who, in my view, are doing splendid work in leading us in this field. And finally, let me thank His Excellency the President, who has provided strategic leadership and good political leadership, and who has articulated to the people of Uganda the critical messages, and who has helped in taking the appropriate decisions, especially decisions that are critical to stop the spread of this disease. So we wish you the best. You have our full support, and we are waiting for more discharges from this great hospital. Thank you.
I request everyone to stand up.
So we will now we will give these 3 certificates of the patients to the director of the hospital. Patient number 1, patient number 2, and this is now patient number 3. All of these 3 have been discharged.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. And we want to assure the community that have received all the certificates of the 3 patients, and they are going to leave the hospital. We are going to transport them to their community, and I think they will receive it. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching UBC TV. We are still coming to you live from Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital, where today we have witnessed a discharge of 3 patients of the COVID-19. Let us first have the anthems and we continue. Ben. Yes, we are still coming to you live from Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital, and today we have had 3 patients of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Presidential guidelines to manage the spread of coronavirus effective 1st April 2020. Suspended movements in and out of the country for 32 days, public transport for 14 days, private transport 14 days, border borders 14 days, tukutukus 14 days, coaches 14 days, buses 14 days, and air transport for 32 days. Closed. Shopping malls for 14 days, arcades for 14 days, hardware shops for 14 days, lodges 14 days, saloons 14 days, non-food stores 14 days, non-food markets for 32 days, and garages for 14 days. Prohibited gatherings of more than 5 people, parties, bars, communal weddings, churches, political rallies and events, and movement of any form between 7 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. Allowed with precaution. Food markets 4 meters circumferential distance and workers must stay at camp. Supermarkets regulate numbers that come and leave. Construction site workers must stay at camp. Pharmacies, vet shops, agriculture stores, banks, judiciary, media houses, private security companies, garbage collection services, fuel stations, water departments, KCCA staff, telecommunication, door-to-door delivery, cleaning services, medical centers, and agriculture. Businesses. Uganda Revenue Authority shall not close businesses on account of not paying taxes in these 14 days. Cargo transport must continue. No disconnection of water and electricity during this time, and no seizing properties due to non-loan payment. Security and health. The vehicles of the Army, police, ambulances, utilities vehicles, prisons, Uganda Wildlife Authority, ETC, will continue to move on orders of the competent authorities. Government cars to help deliver people to hospitals. Government workers, stay home. Army, police, the health workers, electricity, water, and telephone workers allowed. People in barracks should not get out. Food. Government will provide food for those affected. Stay home, stay safe. For God and our country.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
My dear sisters and brothers, I want to thank you so much for making the time to listen to me. I thought I would speak to you, especially to the mothers of our country, especially those who believe in prayer, but even those who would like to begin at this time to pray and to believe God. I thought I would talk to you. I know that this is a very difficult time, and it is natural to feel overwhelmed by fear or be scared of this new enemy, the coronavirus. So I was wondering, when many people feel fear, what do you do? which I believe is happening to not just Ugandans, to the world, because of this new terrible enemy that has come to us. What do you do when you feel that fear? Well, I know that those who know God understand that at a time like that, that's when they run to God. That's when they remember that they are not alone, and they run to God. That's when you pray and you know that this enemy may be very strong, may really be threatening, but God is even stronger, and that makes you strong. And I thought I would remind women, those of you who remember the times when we were fighting HIV and AIDS in this country, in the late 80s and early 90s, when we started to whistle. I remember when I once visited Masaka, in those times, during the late 80s, and finding villages that had literally shut up, they had closed down. Big houses were closed up. And you know, in rural areas, when you find villages silent, it's a scary time. Parents, you remember that HIV and AIDS used to kill both parents, and in some of those villages, both parents would have died, and children would have been distributed in different homes for the siblings of that particular family to now take care of those children. And it truly was a scary time. So when I was thinking about this new enemy, I remember that time. What did people do? I remember that women in Uganda mobilized themselves. They supported the grandmothers we found in these homes, some of whom would be hiding because they would think they were cursed, that something terrible was happening to them. And they would be hiding, they wouldn't want to be seen. The grandmothers that would have lost their children, and they had now the little grandchildren holding on to their skirts and feeling lost. But we mobilized ourselves as women of Uganda, and we agreed to support these grandmothers so that they can keep the children and help them to grow. And we started working together to ensure that those grandmothers will find support in their villages so that food can be grown in the land, so that there would be food for those families. So I wanted to mobilize women, and not only women, but even spiritual leaders of our homeland, and to remind them that they should not rest, but that they should continue to pray unceasingly and continue to galvanize people and communities to pray against this enemy. I wanted to ask them not to wait for Sunday or wait for the church buildings to open up again, but to remember that we are the church and we can pray wherever we are. God is there. In our homes, God is there. And to continue to strengthen our communities and to strengthen the families, to pray and to stand with our God. To the women of Uganda, I wanted to remind you all that you are the mothers of this nation and that you are the custodians of these families of our homeland. So in addition to prayer, I wanted to ask you to go further and fast and pray. But you also have to begin by ensuring that you listen to what the President has been telling you all these days, that you have to be serious about cleanliness, especially cleanliness of your hands. And the Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health has been telling you that every day, to ensure that your families wash their hands now with soap and water. There are the sanitizers that are available on the market. If you can access those, please make sure that you take care not just of yourself, but of your family, of the children at home. If you can't get those sanitizers, just stick to soap and water and all other guidelines that have been given to you. Ensure that you keep the surfaces in your homes cleaned with soap regularly so that the children stay in a clean environment. Ensure that the children stay at home. This is the reason the schools were closed, so that children can be safe at home with their parents. Ensure that the families keep taking some drinks, some liquids regularly to boost their immunity. Provide the nurturing support that only you as a mother and father at home can give to your children. So, going back to what I was saying about prayer, I wanted to ask you to stand together now as mothers of Uganda, to not only pray, but to fast. The Bible tells us about the story of Queen Esther in the book of Esther in the Bible, who, when her people were faced with a life-threatening situation, she mobilized her people to fast for 3 days, and they did, and God rescued them. So let's remember that our country now is at war, and we have a duty as mothers to uphold our country in prayer. The whole purpose of my speaking to you today was to really remind you that we have a duty to uphold our country in prayer. God has not forgotten us. He hears and He listens to His people. He will hear if we call on His name. He gave us a promise in 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. He said that those who are called by His name, that if they humble themselves and pray and seek His face and repent from their wicked ways, that He will hear from heaven and He'll forgive their sins and He will heal their land. Let's take God at His own word. Let's believe Him, and let us not give God rest until He answers our prayers. Those of you who read the Bible can remember the story of Jacob. Jacob struggled with God. In Genesis 32 verse 24, Jacob wrestled with an angel until daybreak. Then the angel said to Jacob, he said, "Let me go." But Jacob answered and said, "I will not let you go until you bless me." Therefore, we need to know that it will take a willingness to fight, this time, fight on our knees. And with God's help, I have no doubt in my mind that we will win this war. But we will win this war on our knees. So I thought I would say this to you, all you mothers of Uganda and our spiritual leaders in the country, to remember that our God has not changed. He is still God, and He still listens to His people. Let us not give Him rest until He answers our prayer. Thank you, and God bless you.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
Amanya gange nze omumbe janva nonje. Bannayuganda bannange, ekirwadde kya COVID-19 kyaddala. Naye tukyalina essuubi era n'obusobozi obulwanyisa akawuka aka coronavirus akatambuza obulwadde buno. Nga tukola tutya? Nga tugoberera ebyo ebiragiro ebyatuweereddwa omukulembeze w'eggwanga ko ne ministry ey'ebyobulamu. Tufuba okulaba nti twekuumira awaka okuggyako abo abalina emirimu egibeetaagisa okukola buli lunaku. Tukuume abaana baffe ffe ababalina, tobatambuza, tobakkiriza kutaayaaya, bakuumira awaka. Tetukkiriza baana kutambula kwegatta n'abaana balala kubanga tetumanyi kiki kifa mu family ndala. Tukuume obuyonjo ng'okunaaba mu ngalo n'abaana baffe buli we kyetaagisiza we bayita tuteekewo amazzi ne sabbuuni, amazzi amayonjo ne sabbuuni. Abantu ffenna abato n'abakulu tukuume engalo zaffe nga nnyonjo. Bw'oba ogenda mu kifo kya lukale ng'akatale oba ekifo ekirimu abantu abangi omugulirwa ebintu, oba ogenze mu ddwaliro, fuba okulaba nti oyambala mask weyeetaagisiza. Kwegamba kituyambe nti twegattira wamu n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga n'eggwanga lyonna ne bannayuganda okulwanyisa ekirwadde kino. Mmanyi nti ebimu binyigiriza naye tetulina kyakukola. Bwe tuba nga tuli bakulwanyisa kawuka kano, tulina okwegatta awamu, okukwatiza omulimu awamu, tugoba akawuka. Abantu mubalabwe bwe batondoka mu mawanga amalala, tukyasobola okukiziyiza ne kitatuuka mu ggwanga lyaffe. Twagalane, twagale eggwanga lyaffe, n'ekisinga obukulu twekwase Mukama Katonda. Bannayuganda, tufune eddoboozi eryawamu mu kusaba n'okusiiba n'okwegayirira Katonda atusaasire, atutaase n'ensi yonna. Ku lwa Katonda n'ensi yange, Ssaabasajja Kabaka wa Buganda awangaale. Mukama Katonda abeere nammwe.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
You hear something?
Huh? Hello, boys. He's mine.
You and this tree are now connected.